Yeah.
This is cause number 2021 CR 10427, the state of I'm sorry, that's the wrong case number. 2022 CR 0052, the state of Texas versus Martin Medina. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Samuel Wells for the state, Your Honor.
Ms. Blake?
Angela Blake, attorney for Mr. Medina.
Mr. Medina is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Mr. Medina, go ahead and tell me your full name.
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Can you tell me your full name?
Martin Medina.
On the screen, I'm showing you the true bill of indictment that was filed in this case that alleges the offense of violation of a bond or protective order by stalking. Do you understand the charge that you have?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, it's not by stalking, it's by committing another assault. Yes, committing another assault is what's alleged in the indictment. Are we proceeding as charged, State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Medina, this is a third-degree felony and it's punishable by confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the institutional division, for any period between 2 and 10 years confinement. It also carries a possible fine of up to $10,000. Do you understand the range of punishment that applies, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to cross-examine the witnesses against you. You also have the right to remain silent. Those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your electronic signature here at the bottom above the words Martin Medina?
Yes, ma'am.
When you sign this document, what you're telling me is you want to give up those rights that I have just explained to you. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
I am.
If you are not a citizen, I'm still required to tell you that a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Mr. Medina, are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Blake, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you in the preparation of any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
In your opinion, is he mentally competent to waive his rights and enter into a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will accept the waiver of rights and make it part of the record. Mr. Medina, on the screen, I have the part of your paperwork that talks about the plea bargain that you made in this case. I want to go over it with you, and then I want you to tell me if that's your understanding of the agreement that you made. The agreement calls for a recommendation of deferred adjudication for a period of 4 years, $1,500 fine. The state is going to dismiss 2 misdemeanor assaults, bodily injury, family cases. We're going to do a DDRF evaluation, no contact order with Oscar Olivares. Affirmative finding of family violence is made by agreement in this case. We're going to do a TAP evaluation and 150 hours community service. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
That's not my understanding. I was under my understanding that the type of evaluation, if possible, that I make a request to do that on the outside world.
We're not there yet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're not there yet, Mr. Medina.
I apologize. Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Is that otherwise your understanding, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Blake, is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor. And if I could address the fine at the appropriate time.
Yes. State, is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sure.
What is your plea to the charge of violation of bond or protective order by committing another assault? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No little contest.
Are you entering a plea of no contest because you have talked about this matter with your attorney and you believe it's in your best interest to do so?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced you to enter a plea
No, Your Honor.
or offered you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, Your Honor.
I will accept the plea of no contest. I find the plea is voluntarily made, and I will ask the state to tender its proof.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 along with attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
State's one is admitted. Ms. Blake, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will sign the discovery acknowledgements and make those part of the record. Go ahead and, did you want to address the fine and other matters before I read the steps?
Yes, Your Honor. He did qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so we would request a lowered fine or 0. And then we'd also request to waive PSI if the court were so inclined.
We have no objection to either of those, Judge.
Okay, what was the other thing that he was talking about?
Getting out of jail for the TAP. He was concerned about staying in jail if the court were to order a TAP eval. And like but we weren't there yet.
Okay, so Mr. Medina, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to read the evidence in this case, and then I'll come back and tell you what my decision is with regards to the TAP, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Just before you go, I'd like to make it known that I put myself in as a show of faith to go ahead and get the process taken care of as soon as possible. But thank you, ma'am, Your Honor.
Okay, hang tight. Go back on the record, please. Mr. Medina, can you explain to me where you plan to live when you're released?
5211 Hayden Drive, San Antonio, Texas.
Well, not the address. I'm asking who are you going to live with?
It'll be my sister, Your Honor. My sister's house, Your Honor.
Sister's house. She was not involved in this altercation?
No, ma'am. Also, Your Honor, when I start working again, I do travel a lot within Texas, maybe sometimes out of the state. Is that going to be an issue?
Not worried about the expenses. I'm worried about you not reoffending. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you start your deferred today. But I do want to see you back in court when the results of the TAP evaluation come out, because I have not decided one way or the other if you have to do residential treatment or not, or what type of treatment you have to do, right? But I'm going to let you get out. I'm going to let you start your deferred. And when that TAP comes back, Bianca, I want an SR. I do find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt. I will make no other findings. I will grant the application for deferred adjudication for a period of 4 years. There's a $1,500 fine. I'm going to probate half of that. Probate $750. I have already dismissed cost number 643, 468, and 676,231. I'm going to order a DDRF evaluation, no contact order with Oscar Olivares, an affirmative finding of family violence. We're going to do a TAP evaluation and 150 hours community service. Bianca, I want him reporting bi-weekly in person until the results of the TAP come back. You're sober now, so your UAs should be squeaky clean, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have him do a UA every 2 weeks as well, and notify the court of any violations. How long does he need for the TAP evaluation to come back, Bianca? I will see you back here March 28th, and I want to see you back here in person for the results of the TAP evaluation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ashley, can you send them a reset form? I think we have them on Adobe, don't we?
Let me draw it up, Judge.
We, I used to use them with, when you were on maternity leave, with Lance. We used to do them all the time. Okay. I'm gonna ask you to go into the breakout room, Mr. Medina, with probation. Oh, hang on. Hang on. This is a plea bargain case. I did follow your plea bargain agreement, so you do not have a right to appeal. Thank you. Now you can go into the breakout room. Ashley, he didn't sign his trial court certification, so let's send him just that form so that he can sign it. Bianca, don't let him leave until he signs one of my forms. Thank you.
And I can go into the breakout room, Judge, to go over that paperwork.
Sure. Can you also take Ms. Blake into your breakout room? Thank you. Is Ms. De La Garza back? No? Oh, okay.
Yes, she is.
You ready?
We're ready, Your Honor.
Go ahead and unmute yourself, Ms. De La Garza.
Okay, I'm here, Your Honor.
Go on the record, please. This is cause number 2022 CR 0802W, the state of Texas versus Stephanie De La Garza. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Gretchen Plater for the state.
Arnulfo Ortiz for Ms. De La Garza.
Ms. De La Garza is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Go ahead and tell me your full name, ma'am.
Stephanie Marie De La Garza.
Okay. On the screen, I have the information that has been filed in this case. It alleges the offense of burglary of a building
That's what they say.
alleged to have occurred December 10th, 2021. Before we go on to the range of punishment in this case, Mr. La Garza, I want to go over this other document that you signed. It's called the Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights. And basically, this document tells you that you have the right to present this case to the grand jury. The grand jury then reviews the evidence. They decide if there's an indictment to be had, and then they deliver that indictment to you. Once you get the indictment, you get 2 days to review it with your attorney, and then you also get 10 days to prepare for trial. When you sign this document, you're basically telling me you're going to skip that part of the process and you want to waive your rights. You want to give them up. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes,
Is this your signature where it says Stephanie Marie De La Garza?
that's my typewritten signature, yes.
I will sign the waiver of indictment and reading of information and make it part of the record. Burglary of a building is a state jail felony, and it is punishable by confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. And it's for confinement in the state jail facility for any period between 6 months and 2 years confinement. It also carries a possible fine of up to $10,000. Do you understand the range of punishment that applies?
I understand the range of punishment.
When you sign, let me show you your other rights. You have the right to a jury trial on this case. You have the right to cross-examine all of the witnesses against you. You also have the right to remain silent. All of those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
I understand.
When you sign this document called the court admonishments, what you're telling me is that you're going to give up those rights. Is that what you intend to do today?
Yes,
And is this your electronic signature where it says Stephanie Marie De La Garza, BA of the?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes,
If you are not a citizen, I'm still required to tell you that a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Ms. De La Garza, are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
yes,
Mr. Ortiz, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against her?
I'd like to reveal to the court that she has been previously hospitalized, that she's had a tumor that has removed part of her brain. It's been difficult, but I do believe she's competent to enter into this agreement, and she understands and she's helped me with her defense.
Yes.
I will accept the waiver and make it part of the record. Ms. De La Garza, on the screen, I have the plea agreement that you made. It calls for 180 days confinement in the Bexar County Jail pursuant to 1244 of the Penal Code, no fine, no applications for probation, and the state will dismiss 676-757. Is that your understanding of the agreement in this case?
Yes.
Mr. Ortiz, is that your understanding?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And state, is that your understanding? Ms. Slater,
Yes, Judge, sorry.
what is your plea to the charge of burglary of a building? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Are you entering a plea of no contest because you have talked about this matter with your attorney and you believe it's in your best interest to do so?
Yes.
Are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone forced you to enter a plea today
No.
or offered you anything in exchange for your plea?
No.
I will
Absolutely not.
accept your plea of no contest. I find the plea is voluntarily made, and I will ask the state to tender its proof.
It offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objection.
State's one is admitted. Mr. Ortiz, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914 in this case?
I am.
I will sign the discovery acknowledgement that was tendered to the court, and I will make it part of the record. Just a minute. Did you send me a dismissal, state?
I'm doing it right this second. I'm almost done.
WM Torres 5652. WM Torres 5652.
Let's go back on the record, please. I do find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt. I'm going to find you guilty of the offense of burglary of a building. And I will sentence you to 104 days confinement in the Bexar County Jail. You do get credit for the time that you have been in custody. I do find the judgment is satisfied.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. This is a plea bargain case, Mr. LaGarza. I followed your plea bargain agreement. You do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
It also signed the dismissal in cause number 676-757. So you should have no other holds and you should be released today.
Thank you. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Bless Miss Meza.
You're welcome. Okay, Derek Gray, and then let me pull up, after Derek Gray, I think is Enrique Martinez. Let me just double check.
Miss, do I go? Thank you, Miss. God bless you. Bye. God bless all of y'all, beautiful people.
Yes, so after Derek Gray is Enrique Martinez.
There's four.
Mr. Medina signed that document.
I had a hard time finding it, Judge. I'm still working on it.
No, not the reset, the trial court cert.
I attached them together, so I'm still working on it.
Don't worry about the reset. Yeah, so Elias Mejia will be after Enrique Martinez. Did you put, by any chance, did you put for him to show up in his conditions of probation, Bianca? Yeah, it's in the conditions of probation, so don't worry about the reset. Thank you for doing that. Let's go on the record. This is cause number 2021 CR 10427, Texas versus Derek Gray. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Gretchen Plater for the state.
Lisa Morales for Mr. Derek Gray.
Mr. Morales is appearing by video Mr. Gray is appearing. You guys are like one right on top of the other. So I looked at Gray. It's Mr. Gray is appearing by video conference for the Bexar County Jail. Go ahead and tell me your full name, sir.
Eric Jerome Gray.
On the screen, we have the true bill of indictment that was filed in this case. It alleges the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams. It also has a repeat offender enhancement allegation. State, can you tell me how we're going to proceed, please?
Proceeding as charged, dismissing the repeat offender enhancement allegation.
So possession, as alleged in the paragraph, Mr. Gray, is a second-degree felony. and it is punishable by confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the Institutional Division, for any period between 2 to 20 years confinement. It also carries a possible fine of up to $10,000. Mr. Gray, do you understand the range of punishment that applies to this charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to a jury trial on this charge. You have the right to cross-examine the witnesses. You also have the right to remain silent. Those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
Yes, Your Honor.
When you sign this document called the court's admonishments, what you're telling me is you want to give up those rights. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your electronic signature above the words Derek J. Gray.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you were not a citizen of the United States, I'm still required to tell you that a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Mr. Gray, are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Morales, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against him?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe he does.
Has he been able to assist you in the preparation of any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
In your opinion, is he mentally competent to waive his rights and enter into a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll accept the waiver of rights and make it part of the record. Mr. Gray, I'm going to show you the plea bargain agreement that you made in this case. It calls for 3 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the Institutional Division. There are no applications for probation in this case. It will run concurrent with another case number provided, 2017 CR 3770W. Is that in Bexar County, Texas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that your understanding of the agreement that you made, Mr. Gray?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Morales, is that your agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that your agreement?
Yes, Judge.
What is your plea to the charge of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
Are you entering a plea of no contest because you have talked about this matter with your attorney and you believe it's in your so?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anyone forced you to enter a plea?
No, Your Honor.
Offered you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, Your Honor.
I will accept your plea of no contest. I find the plea is voluntarily made, and I will ask the state to tender its proof.
State offers States Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objection.
States 1 is admitted. Ms. Morales, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914 in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Find the discovery acknowledgement and make it part of the record. And just for purposes of the record, I did confirm that the judgment in 2017 CR 3770W is the same Derek Gray. All right, give me just a minute. Let's go back up, please. I do find the evidence is sufficient to find guilt. Will find you guilty of the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams. Sentence you pursuant to your agreement to 3 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. You do get credit for the time you have been in custody on this case. This matter will run concurrent with 2017 CR 3770W. This is a plea bargain case, Mr. Gray. I did follow your plea bargain agreement. You do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ms. Davis.
Thank
Judge,
you.
and I think that's all for CTD. Is that right?
Enrique Martinez is next.
Can CTD be excused then?
Oh,
Please?
hello. Of course. We'll see you guys
All
Wednesday.
right, see you on Wednesday. Thanks.
Thanks, Judge.
Welcome. Thank you. Oh, I know who. Okay. I knew I recognized that name from somewhere, Gabriela Cordova. She is the, I know who she is now. Yep. 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 Mhm. Great. Let's go on the record on Enrique Martin.
Hello.
This is cause number 2021 CR 10065, the state of Texas versus Enrique Martinez. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Samuel Wallace will state, Your Honor.
Gary Truck for the defendant.
Mr. Martinez is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Go ahead and tell me your full name, sir.
Enrique Martinez Jr.
Let me show you the true bill of indictment that was filed in this case. I'd like to go over it with you, please. The indictment alleges, oops, to the count 1 alleges the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Count 2 is also ag assault with a deadly weapon of a different complainant, and count 3 is a third complainant, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. How are we going to proceed?
Your Honor, the state moves to waive and abandon counts 2 and 3 and proceed solely on count 1, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
No objection.
That's granted. Count one is an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, as I had explained to you. It is punishable by confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the institutional division, for any period between 2 and 20 years confinement and up to a $10,000 fine. Do you understand the range of punishment that applies, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to jury trial on that charge. You have the right to cross-examine the witnesses against you. And you have the right to remain silent. All of those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
Yes, ma'am.
When you signed this document that I have on the screen called the court's admonishments and defendant waivers, what you're telling me is that you're going to give up those constitutional rights I just explained to you. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your electronic signature indicating that right here where it says Enrique Martinez Jr.?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are not a citizen, I'm still required to tell you. Plead guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Mr. Martinez, are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Churak, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you with the preparation of any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Your opinion, is he mentally competent to waive his rights and enter into a plea?
He is, Your Honor.
I will accept the waiver of rights and make it part of the record. State,
Yes, Judge.
did you mean to write Azela Medina by chance, or it's Median?
I had it as Medina. I got it from the report. I didn't check their indictment. Medina would make more sense looking at it now.
Miranda, Medina.
It should be Medina, Judge. I apologize.
And Ivan Miranda is Miranda?
Correct.
Mr. Martinez, on the screen, I have the bargain agreement that you made in this case. I want to go over it with you. And then I want you to tell me if this is your understanding of the agreement. It calls for a recommendation of deferred adjudication. We're proceeding on count one. Deferred is going to be for 5 years, $1,500 fine. You have to take the Batterers Intervention Prevention Program, affirmative finding of family violence, no contact order with Destiny Medina, Ivan Miranda, and Azalea Medina. We're going to do a TAP evaluation and 150 hours community service. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask you if I could do the TAP evaluation in the outside world.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rec for deferred, but I'm going to read the evidence first and then I'll decide.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Is that otherwise your understanding?
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Mr. Churak, is that your understanding?
It is, Your Honor.
Lyles, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is your plea to the charge in count one, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
Are you entering a plea of no contest because you have talked about this matter with your attorney and you believe it's in your best interest to do so? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone forced you to enter a plea?
No, ma'am.
Offered you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
I will accept the plea of no contest. I find the plea is voluntarily made, and I will ask the state to tender its proof.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 along with attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
State's one is admitted. Mr. Churak, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3014 in this case?
I have, Your Honor. They have.
I will sign the discovery acknowledgement and make it part of the record. Give me just a few minutes.
Excuse me, are you all done with Medina?
Yes, he can go.
where are you going to live? Let's go back on the record, sorry. Where's Mr. Martinez? He needs to get back here. And where is David Garcia's client? I don't have any inmates.
Then what kind of computer do they ship out? From the chat letter? See what's up there.
If they just get on an iPad, it's fine. They've already signed everything. So they ask them if they could just turn on 2 iPads and put them on the iPad. That's all they need. Yeah, they have the iPads there. Hang on, guys. Apparently all the computers went down at the jail.
What is it, shift change for the computers or what?
Martinez is coming back on.
Oh, no.
Oh, remember the guy, whose client was it? Oh, it was Charles Funk's guy. Who was real upset with whatever Charles Funk told him, and he just started unplugging the computers everywhere at the jail. That was last week. All right, Mr. Martinez.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Let's go back on the record. I was asking you, where are you going to live?
With my tia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
You don't have any contact with this girl or her family, right?
No, I don't, ma'am.
And you know you're not going to have any contact according to the agreement that you made today
Yes, ma'am.
with her or her family.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you on drug for that morning?
No, ma'am. I just be that she thought that I was cheating on her, so we started arguing.
I mean, she makes it seem like this is a very random thing, that everything was fine and then you just woke up not yourself. So I want to know if this, whatever happened, did it happen while you were sober or not? Tell me the truth.
It happened when I was sober.
Well, that can't be good, right?
No, ma'am.
And you did this while sober? That's not good.
No, ma'am, it wasn't. But I learned my lesson, ma'am, and I feel like I deserve a second chance, and I feel like I will come back to this jail again.
All right, let's go forward then. I do find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt. I will make no other findings. I will grant the application for deferred adjudication for a period of 5 years, $1,500 fines. You have to complete the BIPP course. There's an affirmative finding of family violence.
Yes, ma'am.
Check order with Destiny Medina, Ivan Miranda, and Azela Medina. I'm also going to have you evaluated for gang supervision or ISP. If he doesn't qualify for gang supervision, he could do ISP. Because of the nature of this offense, for the first 12 months on probation, you're going to be under intense supervision. So that's going to tell me whether or not you're serious about completing this successfully. Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I also want him to be reporting in person for the first 60 days. Let's do bi-weekly. This is a plea bargain case, Mr. Martinez. I did follow your plea bargain agreement. You do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, I'm going to ask that you go into a breakout room with probation. She's going to give you your conditions and instructions on how to report.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last one, Elias Mejia. Gary Lee. Martinez. Diego Martinez needs to get back on. Oh, okay. Sorry, my computer is doing a shift change, David.
We'll just bring them back tomorrow.
Oh, no. We're doing it right now. We're almost done. Tomorrow has its own cases. And it's February 1st. Been doing it all day. All right, I'm ready. On the record, please. This is cause number, Mr. Mejia, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay. I have a question. And I have another address too, like my dad's address too. You want that one?
The probation officer will take care of that at the appropriate time, okay?
It's 224 East Lubbock.
Hang on. Who's talking?
No, it's not me. It's they're next to me.
Are you almost done? Yeah, let's do that. Just
Okay.
we need to do this.
I'm staying in custody.
Okay, let's go on the record on Mejia. This is house number 2021, R6443, the state of Texas versus Elias Mejia. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Samuel Laws for the state, Your Honor.
David A. Garcia, attorney for Elias Mejia, judge.
Mr. Mejia is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Mr. Mejia, please tell me your full name.
Elias Gustavo Mejia.
You have the true bill of indictment that was filed on this case. You can see it on the screen right now. Count 1, paragraph A alleges the offense of burglary of a habitation with intent to commit assault. Paragraph B is attempted to commit and committed an assault. Same offense. Count 2, assault family second. How are we going to proceed?
On count 1, Judge, paragraph A, the state waives the other counts.
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Mejia, count 1 is a second-degree felony, and it is punishable by confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the Institutional Division, for any period between 2 and 20 years confinement, also a possible fine of up to $10,000. Do you understand the range of punishment that you have in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to a jury trial on this charge. You have the right to cross-examine the witnesses against you, and you have the right to remain silent. Those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
Yes.
When you sign this document that I'm showing you on the screen, what you're telling me is you want to give up those rights. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your electronic signature?
Yes, it is.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
If you were not a citizen, I'm still required to tell you that a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Mr. Mejia, are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes.
Mr. Garcia, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you in the preparation of any defenses?
He has.
In your opinion, is he mentally competent to waive his rights and enter into a plea?
He is.
I will accept the waiver of rights and make it part of the record. Mr. Mejia, on the screen, I have the agreement that you made in this case. It calls for a recommendation of deferred adjudication for a period of 8 years, $2,000 fine. The state is going to dismiss 2 unindicted cases. That's grand jury number 764096 and 759978. Restitution, if any, payable to the victim in this case, Talisa Armenta. We're going to do a TAP evaluation, 100 hours community service, and no contact order with Talisa Armenta. Is that your understanding of the agreement, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that your understanding, Mr. Garcia?
It is, Judge. I'm just curious about the grand jury numbers. I just want to make sure it encompasses CM 092031, which is a violation of a bond or protective order. I'm assuming it does, but I just want to make sure.
It does. I'm not sure why Josh put the grand jury, but that's the VPOs.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, and State, is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is your plea to the charge in count 1, paragraph A, burglary of a habitation with intent to commit assault? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
Are you entering a plea of no contest because you have talked about this matter with your attorney and you believe this is in your best interest?
Yes.
They told me she didn't come back, not to go nowhere. Who's that? The probation. But you're done? No, she said not to go nowhere. But did you get your, I don't know, but did you get your?
Tell them he's not done here. Are you entering the plea of no contest because you have talked about this matter with your attorney and you believe it's in your best interest, Mr. Mejia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Did anyone force you to enter a plea today?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you to enter a plea today?
No.
Has anyone offered you anything in exchange for your plea?
No.
I will accept the plea of no contest. I find the plea is voluntarily made, and I will ask the state to tender its proof.
It offers Stacy Exhibit 1 along with attachments.
We've reviewed states 1 and all attachments, Your Honor. We have no objection.
State's one is admitted. Mr. Garcia, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914?
I am, Your Honor.
I will sign the discovery acknowledgement and make it part of the record. Josh, do you know, not Josh, sorry. Samuel, do you know if those cases referenced here in the plea bargain, if those just get closed out on your end?
Let me pull it up.
me just a minute to read the steps.
David, they'll get closed out on our end. I'm checking to make sure that they've been submitted.
Right, if that could get done today, that'd be great. Maybe he'll get out later tonight.
If Josh hasn't done it yet, I'll do it right now.
Appreciate it.
Apparently, they've already been rejected.
That Joshua, he's pretty thorough.
Well, he got our intake attorney to handle it, and apparently she sent him, so he should be good to go.
Sam, can you look at your phone, please?
Oh, boy. Okay. I'll send an email with the steps, Judge. All right, Judge, I just emailed them to you. David, you just had to say how thorough Josh was. You jinxed it.
Man, I was gonna come on and say something. No, I better not.
Let's go back on the record, please. I do find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt. I will make no other findings. I'm going to grant the application for deferred adjudication for a period of 8 years, $2,000 fine, restitution to Talisa Armenta. We're going to do a TAP evaluation, 100 hours community service, no contact order with Talisa Armenta. I want him evaluated for gang supervision or ISP. If he doesn't qualify for gang supervision, I want him on ISP. This is a plea bargain case. Mr. Mejia, I followed your plea bargain agreement. You do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
There is also a no contact order. I don't know if I said that on the record. No contact order with Talisa Armenta. Do you have children with her?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
It's going to be up to you to get a civil court to grant you access to your kids. But for now, contact with her.
Okay.
So that's going to have, you're going to have to fix that. You created this mess. You're going to have to fix however you see your kids. It's going to be have to be through the family court. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and go in the breakout room. My probation officer will be right with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, David, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Judge. Elias, give me a call when you get out. We'll talk.
All right, I will. Thank you.
Take care. You'll have a good one.
Judge, have you had a chance to look at my email regarding Kevin Coffey?
Yes.
Is it okay if we reset it? She won't be out of clarity.
There was, hang on. Bianca.